Coming in, Pakistan has launched Operation Ghazab lil-Haq against Afghanistan, targeting several military installations in cities like Kabul, Paktia and Kandahar, after the border conflict between the two countries escalated on Thursday. Earlier, the Taliban administration in Afghanistan had claimed that it had conquered 19 Pakistani checkposts, killing 55 soldiers in large-scale airstrikes. In the escalating Afghanistan-Pakistan border conflict, primarily along the Durand Line, the two sides, Pakistan's military and government and Afghanistan's Taliban-led government, have issued sharply conflicting claims on casualty, captures, seizures from the recent clashes and strikes. Let me in fact rope in Ambassador Sharat Sabharwal, who is the former High Commissioner of India to Pakistan. Thank you so much, sir, for speaking to NewsX and for taking out your time. We appreciate it. Ambassador, my first question to you will be regarding how you are looking at this tense situation, because this has not remained just a border skirmish now between both the countries. It's an open war that has been declared from the Pakistan side, and Afghanistan is also now retaliating with full power.
Look, this is not the first time that a major flare-up has taken place. As you recall, there was a flare-up between the two countries last year also in October, and then a ceasefire was brought about through intervention of other countries, including Qatar. At the core of the conflict is Pakistan's desire to treat Afghanistan as a vassal state and as a strategic depth. Now, this does not sit well with the fiercely independent character of the Taliban. Then again, they don't recognize the Durand Line as the border between the two countries. They believe that Pakhtuns living on both sides of this line are one continuum, and there should be no restrictions on their movements, trade, interaction between the two sides. Now, that is something unacceptable to Pakistan. Lastly, as you know, Pakistan has all along followed a policy of destabilizing governments in Kabul. When the Taliban were victorious in August 2021, Pakistan regarded it as a vindication of its Afghanistan policy. Instead, it's turned into a nightmare because terror attacks have spiked within Pakistan since then. The Pakistanis blame the Afghan Taliban of harboring terrorists of Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan on their territory. Afghanistan denies that. In turn, they accuse Pakistan of harboring terrorists of Islamic State Khorasan, which is inimical to the Afghan Taliban. Now, this is the background to the conflict. The more recent provocation has been, a spate of terror attacks within Pakistan, including one at an Imam Barga in Islamabad earlier this month, where a large number of persons were killed. As in the past, Pakistan mounted airstrikes in Afghanistan along the border in the provinces of Khost, Nangarhar and Paktika. In return, then the Taliban mounted an attack across the Durand Line on some Pakistani checkposts, etc. And that flared up. And then there have been reports, the most recent reports of Pakistan mounting airstrikes in Kabul, Kandahar. They claim to have damaged a lot of military infrastructure in Afghanistan. These are claims and counterclaims. The picture is still not very clear.
Absolutely, sir. But Ambassador, if I can also get your understanding, because when we are looking at this situation, like you said, that this is something that has happened in the past, and then we looked at a ceasefire. Do you believe that right now as well, we can look at this situation being resolved through negotiations, or this will escalate? Because there are countries like China who have in fact stated that they are ready to mediate. Iran has in fact also offered that we are ready to mediate if both the parties want to talk. India has condemned these airstrikes that have been conducted in Kabul. So do you believe that negotiations can be something that can be looked at?
Certainly, I think China, as you said, China, Iran, Saudi Arabia, the United Nations Secretary General has called for restraint. And there will be efforts made to calm down the situation. As you know, it's not in the interest of either side to have an all-out conflict. Pakistan's defense minister, Khwaja Asif, who is given to hyperboles, has said that Pakistan is at an open war with Afghanistan. Now, does he forget that Afghanistan has been the graveyard of empires? I mean, the mighty Pakistan cannot prevail in Afghanistan, where the mighty Soviet army and the United States-led NATO armies failed to prevail. So the Taliban, they will fight fiercely if push comes to the shove. But militarily, they are not a match for Pakistan. On the other hand, they have the means through covert operations to cause a lot of instability in Pakistan. So both sides know these limitations. That should give us some hope that these friendly countries who are calling for restraints may again calm things down. But it's very difficult to say which way things will go.
Absolutely, sir. And like you, just a continuation of what you have in fact been saying, that Pakistan cannot afford to take this war forward because it's dealing with an economic crisis as well. It has a civil unrest kind of a situation going on in Balochistan. It's also facing a lot of struggle in the Pak-occupied Kashmir region. So apart from that, fighting an open war, that's what the defense minister is stating, claiming that fighting an open war with something like the Taliban, where we have an entire corps of suicide bombers, they can in fact go on, do that across cities and create more civil unrest in Pakistan.
Yes, that is indeed a possibility. As I said, if push comes to the shove, the Taliban will take the attrition that comes their way because of the Pakistani strikes. Air strikes, Pakistan can cause a lot of damage there. I think sending ground troops is quite another thing. They can bog down there like, the Soviet troops or the NATO forces after 9/11. So there are no easy choices in front of Pakistan. Pakistan has been following very unwise policies, as you know, not only vis-a-vis Afghanistan, but vis-a-vis us also. With all its internal problems, it has a continuous standoff with India because of perpetrating terrorism. And it has now a continuous standoff with the Afghan Taliban because of its attempt to turn Afghanistan, as I said, into a vassal state, which no Afghan government would accept. And the simple fact is that no Afghan government has accepted the Durand Line also as a border between the two countries. Not even, I must tell you, not even the first Taliban regime under Mullah Omar, which was dependent on Pakistan for its war effort. The current Taliban regime is not dependent on Pakistan for any such effort. So the situation is a little different, and Pakistan should have even less hope that the Taliban would accept its diktats or accept the Durand Line as a border.
All right. Thank you so much, Ambassador.